I'm Mishann Luedders, and today I will be showing you the piece of art done by Robert Indiana called Love. It is made of cortine steel and it stands a solid 6 feet tall. Right now it is stationed at Crystal Bridges in Bentonville, Arkansas.
Robert Indiana studied at the Arsenal Technical High School and after his deployment in the Air Force, studied at the Art Institute of Chicago. He was most known for using single words in his art while still being able to send a strong message to his audience. One of his more famous pieces was Eat in 1964 and Art that the Museum of American Art commissioned Indiana to create. He later turned his piece into a sculpture with the same form in 1972. Soon after that, his most famous piece, Love, comes into existence. His love sculpture was an accumulation of 10 years of work that started with Indiana's interest in poetry. Due to his well-known premise that the word is an acceptable element of art, he liked to include the word into his poetry, painting, and eventually sculpture. When it comes to painting love, he was first inspired by his current poetry work where he puts the L-O above the V-E in his writing. It was soon a big hit in the pop art community. The Museum of American Art commissioned him to put a version of love on their Christmas card, which turned out to be one of their most popular items. Indiana soon sculpted his first love piece in 1966 and installed it in New York City. Due to the hippie spirit of the 1960s, love blew up with popularity and created a heavy fan base. In 1973, the United States Postal Service reproduced Indiana's design on their Valentine's Day stamps. They were the best-selling stamp in history for many years. Indiana even translated love into other languages like Spanish and Hebrew. Indiana's Love is a very large abstract piece. The color of his piece can change based on where it's located or its purpose. The brown color of the one located in Crystal Bridges complements its outdoor surroundings very well and lets it blend in with nature. The material the piece is made of is cortine steel. This is an alloy that is corrosion resistant and, if left uncoated, will produce a protective coat called a patina. One can claim that this ability can emphasize how vulnerable love can be and that it needs to be protected. The letters also have a very aesthetically pleasing form. They are blocky and are stacked on top of each other. The tilted O is not only Indiana's signature touch, but it also gives the piece character. The negative space Indiana puts in the letters and around them helps to make the piece seem inviting and allows people to see what it is from multiple points of view. The largesse of the piece creates an overwhelming sense of awe and helps to make the piece seem that it is saying love will conquer all. Looking at Indiana's piece with psychoanalysis criticism, one can see how Indiana's past and the Christian Science Church heavily influenced his choice of which words he put into his artwork. He says that the Christian Science Church had no baby Jesuses, no crucifix, no saints, just the word love everywhere. This repetition, combined with having a very devoted Christian mother, caused the word love to be ingrained into Indiana at a very young age. So it is no surprise that it later came up in his artwork. Indiana never saw himself as a very political person, because instead of taking to the streets with signs, he stayed in his studio and worked to express his political and social views through his pieces. With Love, one can see Indiana was aiming to remind people of the most important things in life. Robert Indiana can be seen as one of the keystone artists that helped to usher in the pop art period we see today. Many of his peers he worked alongside helped to influence his artwork and his study of art. Indiana's Love displays the minimalist effect many pop artists utilize in this period. Indiana's sculpture falls into the minimalism category. By definition, structures that fall into this area are statements of solid geometric form. This is shown by Love's blocky lettering and solid appearance. The artist also purposely tries to eliminate all sense of his hand in the creating of the piece, leaving only the medium for viewers to contemplate. This fits in well with Indiana's lack of a signature on the piece. The idea behind minimalist sculptures is that the work is a pure object having only shape and texture in relation to space with no reference to nature. In my opinion, Indiana's Love is a very symbolic piece. The durability of the piece due to the cortine steel seems to display that love is able to stand strong through even the toughest storms. The reason I picked this piece is because in high school, during homecoming or prom, couples would line up to take pictures with it. Even newlyweds flocked to take pictures with the famous piece while also declaring their love for each other. Overall, this piece gives me a sense of harmony, serenity, and of course, love.